right, y'all. Welcome back to the Late Night with Rita Brent show. Our next guest needs no introduction. He is a representative of A33, the longest serving African-American elected in Jackson City government. I want y'all to make some noise right now, all the way from Ward 3, Councilman Kenneth Stokes. Oh, he getting comfortable. All right, y'all, one more time for Kenneth Stokes. The Honorable Kenneth Stokes. So, Mr. Stokes, I got word today. My mother just told me that we are cousins on your late wife's side, and I just want to know how you feel about that, being my cousin.
Well, I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
I love you. Let me apologize. You know, fat folk just can't do inclines. They said don't cuss. But who in the hell make a fat man walk up some stairs? But anyway, I have a brother in Houston that listen to you and love you. I just want to say I'm thankful that you give Kenneth Stokes a chance to come and talk to you. You know, I want to thank you for understanding that when you feel uncomfortable, I have some of the best doctors. Some know my son is a doctor. That when you feel uncomfortable, you need to go and cool off.
That's right.
So I stay here and take any questions you have and talk about anything you want to talk about. I'm comfortable now. Let's go.
Well, first, water?
No, I'm good.
First question out of the gate, what is a hog-head lion bastard? I have always wanted to ask you that. What is a hog-head lion bastard?
That's that son of a bitch in Rankin County. They asked for Kenneth Stokes. I can't beat up over myself.
You can cuss all you want to. You can't fire Kenneth Stokes, goddamn it. I'm gonna cuss too. But I do want to ask, because when you are on the news and you're doing these sound bites, you are unapologetic. It reminds me of myself as a comedian. I'm unapologetic, but have you always been that way? How did you get to that point?
You know, my mother was a school teacher, for some who don't know. And she taught us. She taught us to stand for what's right, and I try to stand for what's right. You know, some may not know, but Kenneth Stokes was the first black person elected to the City Council to graduate from Jackson Public School.
Wow. Wow.
I've been a councilman since 1989, and before that, I was deputy tax collector for Hinds County. I was the first black to be over all the businesses in Hinds County. Went to Lanier High School, Jackson State University, Thurgood Marshall School of Law in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm. So we are very, very aware that there's a huge mayoral pool, probably the biggest that I've seen since, you know, I've been a resident of Jackson. And I know your name is not in the hat. You have decided to not run because I think you said your family wasn't on board. No. But I am just curious, what kind of mayor do you think Jackson needs? You know, and I'll say this, Mr. Stokes, some people feel, I've heard folks, constituents say that, oh, well, maybe we need a white mayor to save Jackson, but I want to know what your answer is.
Well, it shouldn't matter about race. It's a good person. It's a young man that say in my ward, I listen to the debate, he's very, very good. What you need is someone that's not going to be a thief. You don't need that. And that's the first thing they ask you, do you know the difference between right and wrong? And the first thing you're going to say is yes. Now, if you want to steal, get out of government. You can steal all you want to. But when you're dealing with taxpayers' money, you need to be honest. You need to be honest. You don't need to be a thief.
So I currently live in Jackson, and I am invested in the future of Jackson. If you would have become mayor, let's just say, what would you have done like in the first 100 days?
Oh man, crime. You need to be safe in this city. At one time you were safe. Something like this is good to have. But if you leave here tonight, somebody's gonna be scared to stop to get a hamburger because they scared they're gonna get robbed. They scared they're gonna get killed. You really need somebody like Frank Milton. They can say what they want to, but Frank fought against crime. The first thing Jackson needs is someone to make sure that you're safe. Let's get these dope boys out of here stealing and getting your children hooked on dope. They beat these parents in the poor neighborhoods like boy dogs. You get them hooked on dope, you give it to them on credit. They even have their cards that they get their money on. They got the people cards, and then they taking the money out as soon as the money hit the bank. You know, that's a shame that people living like that. They'll come to your house and cuss out the mama because they want their money. So my point is this. If you're a bad MF that's gonna go to people's house, threaten them and everything else, then somebody needs to lock your ass up and let somebody deal with you like you dealing with the people in these neighborhoods.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So I think when people see you or when I bring up your name, some folks consider you like an antagonist, a man of the people, but also an antagonist. Do you think there is something about Kenneth Stokes that people get wrong? Like, what is something about you that you would want people to know that they may be misperceiving?
Well, they probably understand the truth about me. You know, that's how I was raised. They, you know, you got to understand this. If you're right, stand on the side of right. Put God first every day in your life. And a person don't like you for speaking up for poor people who need help, tell that person to go to hell. It's important that we stand up for the needy and not the greedy. And we need more young people to come in, pick up the mantle, and fight for the people. You know, during my lifetime, I had a chance to meet and talk with Emmett Till's mother. Mr. Tisdale from the Jackson Advocate brought her to Jackson, Mississippi. And she told about when they killed her child, they tried to bury him in Mississippi. And she said, I'm taking my baby home. They made her sign something from, they went open the casket. Shipped him to Chicago. She was going to see him at the funeral home. And she was about 10, 15 blocks away, and she smelled something. She said, what's that smell? And the closer she got to the funeral home, the smell was stronger. She got to the inside the funeral home, she asked the owner, she said, what's that smell? He said, that's your baby. So they told her they were gonna have a closed casket. She said, no, I want the world to see what they did to my baby. Yeah. And that was her only child. She became a school teacher after that so she could have more children. And, you know, it just touched me that she was strong. Now, if she was strong, why we can't be strong? Mm-hmm. I talked to Dr. King's wife. I've done Martin Luther King parades for almost 40 years. And she said, Mr. Stokes, I just request one thing. I said, what's that, Miss King? Don't embarrass my husband.
Wow.
So when we do the Dr. King parade, we do something different from any other parade. We do not have a budget. That means can't a penny be stolen. There's no bank accounts, none of that. We'll ask a business if you will bring this band out of New Orleans, and they'll send a check to New Orleans. Because when we started, Jackson Public Schools did not want to participate. The superintendent at the time said, Kenneth, we're gonna force them, but we'll pay for the bus. Then you start getting black superintendents that wouldn't even have to come across town. And some wonder how in the hell could Jackson State go to California, but couldn't bring their black asses across town. Mm. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say I'm Kenneth Stokes.
Say it, yeah, go ahead.
Cool to know I pull up my hat.
Well, since you brought up race, do you think race plays a role in the type of resources Jackson does not get?
Hell, we got water again. We got water. Man, it get cold, you wouldn't have water. We stand over in Madison counties just to take a shower.
Speaking of water, my bill is high as hell. What is the solution? It's just me, and my bill was like $400. Now I bathe, but goddamn.
Judge Wingate, you got a federal judge who stepped in because of the Clean Water Act. The law is that the federal government can step in if the state would not. State could have taken us over, but you deserve to be able to drink good, clean water. Mm-hmm. They drink it all over the world. Why in Jackson we allow these things to happen? Because of thieves. A thief will steal every dime you got. Then you don't have money to make simple repairs that you should have done to the system. So I bet you if Frank Melton was still here, not only did he fight crime, he had Robert Walker to help with running the city. You had water, good clean water. So they take it over to try to say that, well, y'all didn't run it right. Well, you got good people who can run this city. A lot of good people can run it and do the right thing, and money wouldn't come up missing. But what you got to do, get those members of the legislature to speak up. You got some brilliant people, and I want to take a second to mention Robert Clark, who passed. Mm-hmm. This young man, one of the first blacks to serve in the legislature. He was a good man. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure that we mention his name. I had a chance to meet him as a young man, and I'm gonna try to name a street. Oh, hell yeah, I name street for black people. Oh, hell yeah. You name, I done named Dr. King, I named James Merritt recently, you know. You got to honor people like a young man that people don't talk about, Johnny Walls, the senator out of Greenville, Mississippi. You know, he's sick now, but they were fighting that legislature when black people were still scared of white folks. Now, some still scared.
Well, we know you're not. Because you said your mama hog headline bastard. What do I think should be done? Bricks, rocks, bottles?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Mr. Tisdale would have done that if he was still alive. How do you allow law enforcement to drive down streets and children out there playing? In the poor black neighborhoods, you can't go to the park because the gangs control the parks. So they out there playing in the street, you chasing somebody for stealing bubble gum, about to run over a kid and kill a kid and destroy these lives forever. And then you want to talk about that's law enforcement. I have a degree in criminal justice. That ain't no damn law enforcement. That's stupidity. Mm-hmm. You a stupid bastard who shouldn't have a badge.
Well, one way that you are described as a voice for the voiceless, and you know, I think we need people like Kenneth Stokes in the community to speak up for those who don't always have the voice. And one particular thing you said a few years ago, you were being interviewed by Caleb Thompson, I believe, and you said, ask this gentleman here how he flushes his toilet. Their house smell like boo-boo.
Raw boo-boo.
What kind of boo-boo?
Raw boo-boo.
Raw boo-boo. That was a very descriptive way to say that. And I was so inspired when I heard it that I wrote a song about it. I don't know if you ever heard it, but
I ain't say shit.
You didn't say shit. You didn't say shit. But before we let you go, Mr. Stokes, I just want to dedicate this song to you. All right, hit it, band. I was nervous about singing this song in front of you, but I just couldn't pass up the opportunity, Mr. Stokes. I remember I was talking to a young man when I was on the other side, and he asked to come over to my house, and I said, "Nah, darling, you can't come through." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, my house smells like boo." Oh, 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 oh. smell like, ooh, oh, yeah, yeah. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my home, cruising the streets, and it smell like raw. And when I smell that smell, it made me want to say, no, 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 no. This smell ain't supposed to be here. Mr. Stokes, you hear what I said? This smell ain't supposed to be here. And my house smell like boo. Come on, y'all. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody say it. My house smell like boo.
Raw boo boo.
What kind?
Raw boo boo.
It smell like raw boo. Come on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Sing it choir. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This smell ain't supposed to be here. So, Mr. Stokes, I let the man over, right? And we were about to get intimate. He took out his Johnson. And right before we were about to get it on, I said, you know what, I can't do this because my booty stank. Oh, it stank. My booty stank. Oh, it stank. My booty stank. Oh, it stank. Come on, y'all. I really wanna do it to you. And it smell like raw boo. All right, y'all. All right, that's enough. Listen. They told me Mr. Stokes does not get out a lot, but he got out for me to be a part of my show, and I want y'all to give it up for him. For the one and only. The creator of some of the best sound bites we have ever heard in this century. The voice for the voiceless. Y'all give it up for the Honorable Kenneth Stokes.